Let's go to Revelation chapter 11. I believe that's the first place that there is a beast mentioned. The word beast is mentioned in the book of Revelation. And
Isn't one of them Satan?
what's that?
Isn't one of them Satan, the dragon?
Correct. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, right. The dragon, Satan. Yeah, that's definitely a beast, right? That's the beast of beasts. Okay. Do you have the, are you able to share, Brother James, sir? Or are you still connecting with your computer? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Revelation, I think we'll start with 11. Okay, and we go to verse, I think, verse 7, right? Well, we can read verses 6 and 7. And this chapter 11 is talking about the two witnesses. Excuse me. And you can read verse 7 and verse 8. Go ahead, Brother Ronald. You have to turn your mic on, though.
Verse 7. You say
6
Revelation
6 and 7.
6 and 7. Yes, it says this way. These have power to shoot heaven so that no rain falls in the days of their prophecy, and they have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to strike the earth with all plagues as often as they desire. Verse 7. When they finish their testimony, the beast that sends out of the bottomless pit will make war against them, overcome them, and kill them.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
So this is talking about. Oops. So okay, all right. So this is talking about the two witnesses that they're gonna have the power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy. They have power over waters to turn them to blood and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. But it says, when they shall have finished their testimony or their ministry, right? Their testimony of God's power. The beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them and shall overcome them and kill them. I'm not gonna focus a lot on the identity of the two witnesses. We're focusing on the beast, but it says here that this is the first time the word beast is mentioned in the book of Revelation, but it's talking about a beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit. That this beast is going to make war with them, with the two prophets, Okay? 2 witnesses, and it's going to overcome them and kill them. At this point, in the book of Revelation, in the narrative and in the chronology, we found only one entity that qualified as a beast that comes out of the bottomless pit. And we are going to find this entity back in Revelation chapter 9. All right. Where is it at? Just a minute. What verse?
It's 1 and 2.
Yeah. Is it 1 and 2? And it's got in verse,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 10, 11 there. But you see, is there something in 1 and 2? Just give me a second. I'll go open up my lesson on my phone.
Yeah, it's 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. All right.
11.
Yeah, I think it's 7. Revelation. Well, we can read verses 1 to 3. You want to read it, Sister Lisa? Read verses 1 to 3. We'll read 1 to 3, then we'll go to 7 to 11.
You mean Sister Teresa?
Yeah.
Did I say Lisa?
Yes.
I'm glad.
Well, this shows that it's the beginning when he comes on scene anyway.
Right.
Then
Yes.
I
It
see what you mean by
identifies.
here at
Yes.
9:11. Yeah.
And I think it's
And the
important
fifth
because
angel sounded.
it shows something that comes out of the bottomless pit. That's why this is important. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven upon the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, and the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air was darkened by the reason of smoke of the pit. And they came out of the smoke, locusts upon the earth, and upon them were given power, and the scorpions of the earth to have power. Oh, I see. This is only like showing the beginning of it, right?
Yeah. This is
And then 10 and 11
showing
shows.
that this is something, creatures that are coming out of the bottomless pit or the abyss in other versions. And we see that if it's something that's coming out of the abyss, well, they're not real locusts. I mean, they're demons. Okay, this is a bunch of demons coming out of the abyss, of the bottomless pit. And then we go down to verse 7, or we can even go to, was it verse 9, 10? Yeah, it was verse 11, really, but
Yeah.
we can read those, and they come out in the shape of locusts, right? And then it describes all the locusts from verses 7 to verse 10. And then verse 11, go ahead, you can read verse 11, Sister Teresa. Sister Teresa, yes.
And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon.
So that army of demons that's coming out of the bottomless pit has a king over them. And that king is called Abaddon, and I'm just gonna, or Apollyon, in the Greek. And I'll just read what I had in my notes here. It says, the angel of the abyss is obviously a fallen angel. Otherwise, he would not be in the abyss. He is also the king of an army of demonic creatures. Apollyon means destroyer. So this is a powerful demon who followed Lucifer in his rebellion. Okay. Some believe that he is Satan, but there is a distinction between the two, which we will see later. Okay. And at the end of the ministry of the two witnesses, Abaddon in Hebrew or Apollyon in Greek is the only entity that could be called the beast that came up from the abyss. Okay. And the prophecy gives no information about how this beast kills the two witnesses. Okay, so this would be the first beast that we encounter in the book of Revelation. All right. Let me just go with this here. Okay, right. As we continue, it is important to know that chapter 11, verse, as well, chapter 12 and 13 are parallel chapters that describe events taking place during the fifth seal, also called the global reign of the Antichrist. I just want to check because this is happening. Right, this is happening at the end of the fifth seal, right? At the end of the 3.5 years of the global reign of the Antichrist, because it's when the two witnesses. So this is almost at the very end of the tribulation that this is, this thing is revealed, and that we have this name, this title of a beast given to an entity in the book of Revelation. All right, then we have the second beast. We'll go to Revelation 12. And this beast, is in verse 3. If you want to read that, I'll get Brother Ronald. You can read verse 3. Revelation 12 and verse 3. Your mic is off, just in case you forgot. All right. Okay, well,
Step away.
Go ahead, Sister Lisa. Sister Teresa. I'm glad Denise's name doesn't end with an A. Go ahead, Sister Teresa. You can read verse
3.
Verse 3.
And there appeared another woman in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads.
So I think
And his tail.
Yeah, that's good. Just verse 3. Yeah. So I think that we would all agree that a dragon is a beast. And this dragon, of course, is the beast of beasts, because in verse 9, it reveals that it is the devil himself. It's Satan, also called the serpent of old, right? And so in verse 3, the dragon is shown with 7 heads, and on his head 7 crowns. Satan does not have 7 literal heads, but we established in the study of the 4 beasts of Daniel 7, which we'll probably won't have time today, but this is also very helpful to understand the beast of Revelation. That heads in prophecy represent what? Anybody want to say?
Kingdoms.
Kingdoms, yes.
Kings.
Kings and their kingdom, right? which is more than just a single nation, but it's an empire, right? The emperor and its empire. So a head is I think we looked at that too last week a little bit when we identified the head, the beast, that the head that becomes a beast, the Antichrist. And a head is an imperial king that has several nations that come under his empire. And that's why a head has horns, So the 7 heads of the dragon with crowns, the 7 heads with crowns on the dragon, they represent Satan's power, which he gives to each of the 7 imperial kings that rule over the 4 imperial kingdoms described in Daniel 7. So that can be a little bit, it definitely helps once we get to understand Daniel 7, the 4 beasts of Daniel. But let's read Revelation 12 and verse 9. Go ahead, Brother Ronald. I'll let you read now. I see you back. Don't forget your mic. Okay.
Yeah. Revelation 12 verses
9.
Verse 9.
Yes.
The Bible says, so the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of all, called the devil and the Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Okay. So I just wanted to confirm that the dragon is Satan, right? So we have the first beast is Abaddon, Apollyon, and the second beast is the dragon, Satan himself. Okay. And at the beginning of chapter 13, I think I will have you change Brother James to a different version. Let's go to the NASB, because the King James, I explained it in the last lesson, that it does not have the, I think you have to, okay, you got it there? Okay, perfect, right. Let's go to Revelation 13 verses 1 and 2, and that's the third beast, and that's the beast that comes up out of the sea. Okay, go ahead, you can read that. I'll get Sister Teresa to read that. Oh yeah, it's yeah, because we're going to read it in the NASB there on the screen, if possible. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Where do you want me to start? Yeah.
Yeah, verses 1 and 2.
Okay. And then I saw a beast coming out of the sea, having 10 horns and 7. Is that it?
Oh, just a minute here. Is that the NASB?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I see it up there.
It must be, okay, then I must have the wrong, it must be the Holman's, because it starts with, and the dragon stood on the sand of the seashore.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
All right.
Are you going to show the difference, right?
Yeah, H. Yeah, Omen, that's good. Yeah, let's try that. Okay. Do we have it?
Mm-hmm.
Change. No, H. HCSB, yeah, I think it's, yeah, right there, yeah.
Here we go.
Right. Okay. No, it didn't change.
1 and 2?
It didn't change, but it changed because you have to enter it just right there. You have to go there and re-click there, even if it says omens, but where it says the second line there, yeah, right there. Right there. That's where you have to go change it. It says omens, but I don't know why. It seemed like it didn't change it. Let's see. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what version I got here, but I forgot to that's okay. It would be in chapter 12, verse 18, probably.
Chapter 12, verse
18. I'll have to look where this is. It this. Because in the lesson it did say NASB, but it didn't seem to sound right. Okay. All right. So we see that. Can you go to chapter 12, last verse?
Which verse?
Just wait just a minute here. We'll see how that works. Last verse. Yeah.
Last verse.
Up a little bit, right?
That's I'll get go ahead, Sister Teresa, I'll get you to read it. Because if you got a King James, it's not the same. I'll repeat that again because this is it makes a big difference. Read verse 18, please.
He stood on the sand of the sea.
And the he in this verse is the dragon. And King James Bible does not have 18 verses in chapter 12, but it doesn't mean that this is added or the one is missing. They just put it in chapter 13 in verse 1. Okay, so let's go back to chapter 13 and we'll try to deal with this again because this is important. Okay, you can read it, Brother Ronald, out of the King James. You can just read the first line of the first chapter, then we'll compare here with this. Okay, just read verse 1. Yes.
Then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns,
Okay.
and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemy name.
Okay, all right. So King James says, "Then I stood upon the sand of the sea." But we see that verse, that line is actually in other Bibles, and some will have it in at the same place, but it says that the dragon stood on the sand of the sea, not John. And that's important. It makes a difference because it shows that the reason there's a beast that comes out of the sea is because the dragon makes it come out with his power.
Wrongdoing in the White House and the president.
Okay. All right. So we're just mentioning that, right? Okay. So that the reason the beast, there's a beast that comes out of the sea is because on the sand of the sea stands the dragon, and he makes that beast come out by his power. So that's why the King James, the manuscript that they've used, which is the Textus Receptus, many people love them because they're pro-deity of Christ, but there's an error there. John does not make the beast come out of the sea. So it's probably because of the language in the translation, the pronouns sometimes are not there or it's not clear. And so they decided that it was John that was on the sand of the sea. But no, John was talking about the dragon. And then he says, and he stood on the sand of the sea. Other versions will identify clearly, and the dragon stood upon the sand of the sea. Right? And, right in here, okay, chapter 12, verse 18, and he stood on the sand of the sea. Let's read verse 17 and 18, Sister Teresa, please. If you can see it on the screen there,
So,
now it'll be easier. We're back in chapter 12, verses 17 and 18 from the Holman's Bible. Go ahead.
So the dragon was furious with the woman and left to wage war against the rest of her offspring and those who keep God's commandments and have the testimony about Jesus. He stood on the sand of the sea.
So the he can only be the dragon. Okay. The dragon is talking about the dragon from verse 13 to 17. And then instead of putting that last phrase that in as part of the first verse in chapter 13, they made it a verse in chapter 12. Okay. But that doesn't change. What changes the meaning is the pronoun. If John says, I stood on the sand of the sea, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't mean anything. As a matter of fact, it's contradictive. But if it says that the dragon stood on the sand of the sea, then it makes sense that from the sea comes out a beast, especially, let's go back now to chapter 13 and we'll finish this. Okay. And this is what sometimes is difficult when we have to deal with different versions, because we know that so many people use the King James and will not use anything else, but there are errors also in the King James. All right. I wanted to show the verse that the one who gave the power to the beast is the dragon. And read verse 4.
And they worshiped the dragon because he gave authority to the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like the beast? Who is able to wage war against him?
So they worship the dragon because he gave authority to the beast, or the King James would say because he gave power to the beast. So we understand that it's the dragon that makes the beast come out of the sea by his power, and he gives power to that beast. Okay, so that third beast is speaking about the global government. Okay, this beast that comes out of the sea, we can show that. What does the sea mean? What does the sea represent? Anybody want to say? How about Brother Don? You know what the sea represents? Brother Ronald, you know what the sea represents?
The sea.
Yes.
I know the sea sends it is the world.
Right. The world, yes. People, tongues, nations. Yeah, exactly. The world. People from all over the world. And we see that. You want to show us, Brother James, where that is? I think it's in chapter 17, right? Right, yes. See, you want to read that, Brother Ronald? It's in, whoop.
Yes.
Okay. It's in Revelation 17, and it's verse 15.
15 says this way. Then he said to me, the waters which you saw, where the chariots sit, and the peoples, multitudes, nations, and the tongues.
All right, so that's what the sea represents, or the waters. It means peoples, multitudes, nation, languages, the world, as you said, people from all over the world. Okay, so that's why that beast that comes out, which is the government, the one world government, the global government, comes out by the power of Satan. With the power of Satan, we saw that Satan gives power to the beast, authority, and so that's what that represents. Okay, so we got the first beast was. Who wants to name what the first beast was? Brother Ronald, what was the first beast that we looked at?
I cannot remember.
Okay. It's the beast that comes out of the bottomless pit.
Oh, yes.
Right? And what's the name of that beast? Anybody? If you know what, that's fine. Go ahead, brother.
The name is the dragon.
The name of that beast that comes out of the bottomless pit is given in Hebrew and in Greek. In Hebrew, Hebrew is called Abaddon. In Greek, it's called Apollyon, and it means destroyer. Okay? All right. Then the second beast is the beast of beasts. Somebody else. Sister Denise?
The dragon?
Oh, the dragon? Yes, yes. Right. Yes, thank you. Yeah, the dragon, who is Satan, right? So that's the second beast. Then we have the third beast, which we just looked at. It's the beast that comes out of the water, right? Of the sea. And what is that beast? It's got 7 heads, 10 horns, crowns on the horns. What is that beast, Brother Thomas? Not there.
No idea, sir.
What's that?
I'm here. No, I'm here. Just actually trying to grab my Bible to see.
The beast that comes out of the water or out of the sea, that comes out by the power of the dragon, and it has 10 horns and 7 heads. Who is that beast? Or what is that beast?
Global government.
Thank you, Denise. Correct. Yes, the global government. So that's the first 3 beasts. And then we go to verse 3. We'll read verse 3 and 4. Let's Let's read that. Go ahead, Brother Ronald. You can read verses 3 and 4.
Chapter
Chapter 13.
13, 3 and 4 says 3. The 3 says this way. And I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortal wounded, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world marveled and followed the beast. Verse 4. So they worshipped the dragon who gave authority to the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like the beast, who is able to make war with him.
Okay, good. So here's saying that one of the heads, one of the 7 heads, which is the last head, the 7th head of that beast, appeared to be fatally wounded, or looked like it was as it's in the King James, talks it about a deadly wound, as if it had a deadly wound, but this deadly wound was healed. Okay, now we explained that last week, that this head is obviously a person, and we'll prove that. It's not a government. Some prophecy teachers will say that's Germany. That's crazy. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up with prophecies. All right. It says that the head appeared to be fatally wounded, but his fatal wound was healed. And the whole earth was amazed. It was astonished, right? And they followed the beast. They were impressed. Something happened that was miraculous. The whole world.
Mm.
And it says that they worshipped the dragon. That's another beast, right? The dragon. And because he gave authority to the beast, also you see now that head is no longer called a head, but it's called a beast.
Mm.
Okay? And that beast includes the whole beast that comes out of the sea. But that head itself is become the beast, and we will prove that. It says, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like the beast? Who is able to wage war against him? Not against it, not against the government, but against him. So in here in English, it's clear that it's talking about a man. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that head takes on the name of a beast. And once we get into once he becomes the head, actually, he's actually the beast. The Antichrist, the evil ruler that's going to govern the whole world from Jerusalem. Okay, and we know who that is. And he's coming in. He's becoming more and more, taking more and more place on the news. He's starting to take more place. I think Brother Thomas just sent me the link about Ben Gavir going on the Temple Mount and starting to have religious ceremonies, locking up the doors of the Dome of the Rock so that the Palestinians cannot go do their things, and kicking them out of there too. So he's becoming more and more prominent. And he is on his rise now to becoming the ruler of the world. Okay? And so this is the 4th beast We had the first beast, I'll repeat it, the first one was Apollyon, the destroyer that comes out of the bottomless pit or the abyss. Then the second beast is the beast of beasts, the dragon, who is Satan, the old serpent. Then we have a third beast that comes out of the sea by the power of the dragon. And that beast that comes out of the sea is the global government, is an empire that was manifested at different time through history, but is being manifested again in the end, at the end of the age. Okay, and that beast, that government, has 7 heads, and one head is still alive. The other heads are all in the past. But that head that is on the beast is that is wounded, that appears to be fatally wounded, was healed. And we explained that last week, but I'll explain it again because this is such an important thing. That is, and we said this is a him, right? And that head is called the beast at the same time by itself. So that is talking about the Antichrist, who's going to appear to receive a fatal wound. And he's going to look like he's going to die. And, but he's not. Probably going to be announced through the media that he's dead. But he's not, because it says that he was healed. His wound was healed. And the whole earth was amazed. How does it say it in English? The whole world wondered after the beast, was in wonder and amazed, and they were ready to just follow that beast. Man, that beast was dead. That man was dead and raised from the dead. And so that qualifies him as the Jewish Messiah. Although this whole thing, it will be a scam, it's be just as fake, as we said, as Charlie Kirk's thing. It's not real. He's not going to die. But the whole world's going to believe he's dead and raised back to life, and they're going to worship his God. And who is his God? The dragon, right? It says, verse 4, they worship the dragon because he gave authority to the beast, to the Antichrist, to that head that appeared to be dead, but that now is alive. Okay. So this is the fourth beast, is the head that appeared to be slain, to be killed, right? Go ahead, Brother Thomas.
Just a question. I know it says in Thessalonians about God's going to send a delusion to those that don't have the love of the truth, which we can see these Jews do not have a love of the truth, these Zionist Jews.
Right.
And he's going to send a strong delusion. And I know you was talking about that this Antichrist would be Jewish, a false Messiah, so to speak. Is it possible that he won't be exactly Jewish because of the delusion that God would send to these people, that they will believe a lie? I know you gave good scriptural reference as to why it kind of has to be of Jewish descent, but
well,
I was just reading some other things.
Let's say if he's not pure Jewish, they will believe that he is. And he will claim to be. Just like the Ashkenazi Jews, right? They're now the Zionists. These are Europeans. And they all claim to be the Jews, to be Jewish, to be the seed of Abraham. But they stole that identity from the Palestinians. calling themselves Jews and killing the true seed of Abraham, the true Semites, descendants of Sem, right? All right, so verse
Is it possible he can even be a Gentile because of
no, he will be,
the delusion?
and one thing, he has to be, first of all, he will be little horn. So that disqualifies a lot of people. Say, oh, this is this one. Like even when people want to think that Trump could be the Antichrist, well, Trump is a great horn. He's the head of a great country. And he did not come in by intrigue. Okay? What but James trying to bring some, oh, it's 11:37. Yeah.
24. Just to that the record that the word still say that.
Yes, there's many verses. That's true. He will not, right, good point. Yeah, 11:24. Yeah. You can probably just go to at the top there and change that to that. Yeah. Did it freeze on you? You don't, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's good. Daniel 11, yes, verse 24, I believe, yes. Let's read verse 23 and 24. Go ahead, Brother Arnaud, you can read that. We'll spare a little bit for Brother Thomas in a bit too. But just to confirm that this man of...
I start from 23.
Yeah, Daniel
And
11, verse 23 and 24. Yes, go ahead.
and after the Regius is mad with him, he shall act the city free, for he shall come up and become strong with a small number of people. 24, he shall enter peacefully even into the richest places of the provinces, and he shall do what his fathers have not done, nor his forefathers he shall despise. Among them the plunder, the spoil, and the riches, and he shall devise his plans against the strongholds, but only for a time.
Okay.
Only for a time.
All right. So it's speaking here about the Antichrist as he comes into power, that more than likely, even before he becomes, even before, or in the tribulation, in the first half, this minute here has been met. But he says, after the league made with them, that means the league, speaking of some kind of a intern covenant, some people inside of the nation of the state of Israel, there's going to be some kind of an alliance made with them, and then he's going to be deceitful, and he's going to come up, he's going to become strong with the small people. Yes, and he shall enter, some Bibles will say, in the time of peace, upon the fattest places of the province, or the richest place of the province, and he shall do that which his fathers have not done, nor his fathers' fathers. his fathers. You see, Brother Thomas, there where we're saying that it's talking about here a genealogy, about a descendants, about a seed, about fathers, his fathers, and his fathers' fathers. You know, and this is all happening in Jerusalem. So it's hard to say that he could be anything but a Jew, you know, or at least these people that claim to be Jews, but you know, and what is he talking about? He was talking about the destroying the Palestinians and claiming Temple Mount back and rebuilding the third Jewish temple. That's what his fathers and his forefathers did not do. But he's going to do that. And he's going to scatter among them the prey, or the plunder, the spoil, the riches, everything that he's going to pick up but you know what the spoil is, right? The plunder is when they would go to war and kill people, they would pick up their garments, their riches, anything they had, their weapons, and then they would take this back. This is called the spoil or the plunder. And you know, and they would, and now he's going to take this and he's going to spread it, you know, scatter it among the people. You know, give them people rewards for their massacre of the Palestinians. Okay, and he's going to forecast his devices. Okay, against a stronghold. So we can go down to verse 37 as well, Brother James. Again, it says, neither shall he regard the God of his fathers. So the God of his fathers and his father and his father's fathers, it's all pointing to a descendants of what has been claimed to be the seed of Abraham. Okay? But we know there's a lot of ambiguity there in the sense that they claim to be Semites, but cannot be proven. Okay? So either way, that's what, if you're saying that they're gonna, does he have to be a Jew? But, and also the verse that you're bringing about the strong delusion, this is written to the church, to a church in Thessalonica. You know, of course, these are blinded. These are blinded, completely blinded from the time that they crucified, even before that, because they did not want a Messiah that was humble. They wanted a Messiah that was going to rule the world, reign the world, just like their false Messiah is going to do, using force and violence and death to eliminate any opposition, and he's going to govern over the world by force. That's the kind of Messiah that they wanted. Abaddon is the first beast that we saw, because that's the beast that kills the two witnesses. It's the only beast that comes out of the bottomless pit at this point. Second beast, Brother Thomas.
Boy. I'm just going to take a stab.
It's the beast of beasts.
Beast of the dragon? No.
The dragon, yes. And who's that?
We just guessed. Satan himself.
Satan himself. The third beast. Who's the third beast? I know Sister Denise knows it because she's the one who said it last. I'm sure Sister Lisa knows as well. But okay. Well. Third beast comes out of the sea. It's got 7 heads, 10 horns and crowns.
Antichrist.
No, the government. The global government.
Global government, yes.
The one world government. out of in that beast, there's 7 heads, and one of those heads has a wound. It looks something that looks like a deadly wound, and the wound is healed. Who is that beast? Go ahead, Brother Thomas. Or Brother Ronaldo. Go ahead. Who's that beast? The beast that's
That
killed.
one is the Antichrist.
That one is the Antichrist. Yes.
And yes.
Yes. All right. So those, if you know these, that helps a lot. That helps a lot in your understanding of when you read one chapter after the other. Oh, this is the beast that comes out. See, that's the government. Oh, this is the head that got wounded and killed. Looked like it got killed, but it healed. That's the Antichrist. We know what the dragon is. That's pretty easy. The beast that kills the 2 witnesses. Well, that's the only beast that came out of the bottomless pit when at the time the 2 witnesses got killed. So it was Abaddon or Apollyon, which means a destroyer. Then we have a 5th beast that we're going to look at. And it's in Revelation 13 again. And we go to verse, I believe it's verse 11. Revelation 13, verse 11. Go ahead. Yep.
Then I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and spoke like a dragon.
Keep reading.
Continue. And he exercised all the authority of the first beast in his presidency, and curses the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, who is deadly wounded, was healed.
Okay.
Verse 13.
That's good.
Yeah.
We'll stop there. We can stop there. All right. Talks about the, again, the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. Okay. So that beast that comes out of the earth, it's got 2 horns like a lamb, and he spoke as a dragon. What's that beast? The beast that comes out of the earth. What does it look like? Or how does he speak like? No, it looks like, just a minute here. It has 2 horns like a lamb. So he sort of looks like a lamb. So he's got an appearance of something, right? Of something harmless. Of something, what about something religious? A lamb. Where do you hear about a lamb? In religion, right? In the Jewish religion, and in our Christianity, we see Jesus, the Lamb of God. So a lamb is representative of something religious. Exactly. It's the false prophet. And obviously the whole religious system that's going to be, that's coming on the earth, and with imposing the Noahide laws. Have you heard of the Noahide laws, Brother Ronald?
What?
Noahide laws. Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay. the Jews, out of their Babylonian Talmud, they have laws, 7 laws they call the Noahide laws. And they look very spiritual, very righteous, but one of those laws allows the killing of people who don't believe in their God, who worship another God. And that, from the Noahide laws, it will give the government in the world the authority to kill Christians who worship Jesus, the name of Jesus. So that's needed to, it's important to know about the Noahide laws. Okay, that's what they are going to use to condemn Christians to death by guillotine. When we come into the global one world government and the man of sin, the little horn, becomes the evil ruler that's going to govern the whole world from Jerusalem. Okay, so here's the 5th beast, which is there's going to be plenty of false prophets, and even now there are many false prophets. But there's going to be one that is going to be the associate of the Antichrist. And who is he? Who he is? Not sure. Is he Jewish? Is he not Jewish? Whatever he represents. We don't have a lot of details. And to try to say who or what or where he's from, nationality, it would take speculations. So I'm not going to try, okay? But we know that there's going to be one false prophet that his main job is going to be to promote the man of sin, the Antichrist, as the Messiah, the Jewish Messiah, and the Messiah of the world. Okay? And that's what he's going to bring people to honor him, or to make him an image. And we know all this stuff. It's very technical with all the, we know there's going to be the use of AI and all kinds of things like that, right? Holograms and different things like this. And it's very close, okay? All right. So do we know what the beasts are so far?
I'm getting there.
Okay. So we got, I'll just run it again. Yeah. Regard. Okay, just hold on here. Regard the false prophet. Yes, okay. Brother James. Oh, okay. Brother James shared the post also. What was that post, Brother James? Is it about the men of sin there, about the regard the desire of women?
Yes.
Okay.
There's many.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right, Brother Thomas. In the comments, in the conversation, Brother James shared a link that show many newspaper posts that reveal how Ben Gvir does not honor women. You know. Okay. So which brought us to a different understanding when we came across that. We knew there was something wrong because obviously he has a wife and 6 kids, I think. something like that. So we said, well, we need to understand this here. And so that's what came out. Posts started to come out about Ben Gvir not wanting women involved in government and different places. All right. Okay. Let's
Aren't the Jews historically somewhat not against women, but they place women somewhat, as far as religious activities,
yeah.
they don't. I
Especially
mean, that's just kind of common in the culture.
yeah, and I think especially the Arabs even more, right?
Even more, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, a lot of, like you said, a lot of this speculation. To me, I just think, that with God sending strong delusion that even if it was possible that the elect, I think this the confusion and the mindset of people is just going to change so much that people who we thought were solid in the Word of God and solid in understanding, but because their base understanding of who God is, who Christ is, if it's not there, and their love of truth, since God knows the thoughts and intents of everybody's heart, I just think it's going to be a radical change in mindset. Everybody's evilness is going to be exposed. People who've been hiding iniquity in their hearts and stuff like this, all this going to be, it's going to come out with the deception.
yeah.
It's going to be different. I'm just saying. I just see a lot of stuff out here with people. There things that the way the mindset has changed with just people, ordinary people.
Right.
And we see it in the news with just person outstanding in the community winds up to be some kind of crazy individual. People flipping.
Yeah.
So
anyways, there's in the conversation there's 2 or 3 links to different posts about this topic of not regarding the desire of women. All right. So we looked at 5 B's. We said the first one comes out of the abyss or bottomless pit, Abaddon or Apollyon. The second one's the dragon. The third one is the beast that comes out of the sea, and that's the global government empire. Yeah. The fourth beast is the head that has a deadly wound and heals and takes on the name of being called a beast. So that's the Antichrist. And then the fifth beast that we see is the beast that comes out of the earth with 2 horns like a lamb, but really speaks like a dragon. And then we have one more beast, which is still, again, it's like it's like the same beast. It's a combination, really, of the beast, the dragon, and the beast that comes out of the sea, but with some other entities in that beast. Okay, because some of the beasts, of course, are more than just one entity. The beast, well, it's an entity by itself, but it is made up of more people, right? For example, the 7 heads, or the beast with the head with the 10 horns. Well, that's 10 people, right? And then the little horn is another one. And so we go to Revelation 17. All right. Second beast, dragon. Third beast, the beast that comes up out of the sea. Fourth beast, I'm just going through my notes here quickly. Fourth beast that receives the fatal wound. The fifth beast is the beast that comes up out of the earth, which is the false prophet. And the sixth beast is the scarlet beast, full of blasphemous names, and that beast is found in Revelation 17, and it is seated on and on which the woman is seated, Okay, and that woman who is identified as the mother of harlots, right? All right, Revelation 17 and verse 3. You want to read, brother?
So, number 3. So he he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast, which was full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Yes. Can I read 4?
Okay, that's good. Yeah. All right. So to define this beast, I'll use the example of I'll refer to the book of Genesis where God pronounced 2 judgments on the serpent. All right, just to describe, to give us an understanding what this beast is comprised of. We've already established that the dragon is the ancient serpent and the devil which is the devil and Satan. But we find in Genesis 3 that the serpent is a real animal. All right. I'm just using this here as an example to explain what this beast here that's got this scarlet color. Sorry. The beast was 3, right? The scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemies, 7 heads, 10 horns, because it's got all the description here are already mentioned in chapters 12 and 13. But I'm using the example of the serpent in the Garden of Eden. When God judged the serpent, he pronounced 2 curses. Okay? The first curse cannot be applied to the devil, but to the animal, the snake, that was used to deceive the woman. Excuse me. In Genesis 3:14, I'm just going to read out of the NASB 1995. That's probably why it was different there earlier, but that's fine. I'll correct that. The Lord God said to the serpent, because you have done this, cursed are you more than all cattle, and more than every beast of the field. And on your belly you will go, and thus you will eat all the days of your life. The serpent, the snake, does crawl on his belly. So that first curse that God pronounced on the serpent was on the actual snake, the actual serpent. But we know that in Revelation 12, the scripture tells us that the dragon is the old serpent, the devil. So the devil is also the old serpent. And the second curse that God pronounced does not apply to the animal, the serpent, the snake, but to that ancient serpent, the spiritual entity called Satan, who is the devil and the dragon. And that's in Genesis 3:15. It says that I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise him on the heel. Okay? So obviously this is not talking to a literal snake. This is talking to the devil that used that snake to deceive Eve. And God pronounced the second curse upon that serpent, the old serpent, on Satan, saying that your seed is going to be an enmity. There's going to be enmity between you and the woman, between your seed and her seed. Okay, and he shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise him on the heel. Well, this is all spiritual, right? There's symbolism there. And I'm bringing this to realize that there are two components of the serpent in Genesis, and we find that in Revelation 17, that scarlet colored beast has two elements, two components. Okay? Let's read Revelation 17 and verse 12.
Verses 12. 17 verses 12. The 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings who have received no kingdom as yet, but they receive authority for 1 hour and as kings.
Okay. All right. So I skipped something here in my explanation. Just move back to verse 3, please, Brother James, and I'll just re-explain this. All right. It was at 3. She came away. I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast. What beast was scarlet? Is red, right? So what beast was red? In all the beasts that we looked at, it was the dragon. Correct? In Revelation 12, the dragon is red. And in here, that beast in Revelation 17 shows red. It's scarlet. To identify that it is full of Satan. That beast is governed by Satan. Then we have on that beast full of names of blasphemy. And that was not the dragon. That was the beast that came out of the sea in Revelation 13. It has 7 heads and 10 horns. Both had 7 heads and 10 horns in Revelation 12 and Revelation 13. So this is a real physical earthly entity that is the government, the global one world government, and it is filled, it is red like the dragon. So it is full, it is governed by Satan. But it is a real earthly entity. 7 heads, 10 horns. Okay? And we just read in verse 12. Okay, all right, let's go down now. And the last thing. In this verse, there's no crowns, neither on the heads, neither on the horns. But in Revelation 12, there was crowns on the heads. In Revelation 13, there was crowns on the horns. So in here, we are showing that instead of showing the crown on the heads, we show the red color, the scarlet colored beast, the Satan-driven beast, government. But the horns are not the same horns because they do not have crowns. Let's go back down to verse 12. We're almost done. So, is it the same beast? I would say it's a combination of the first, of the second and the third beast, okay, which was Satan and the global government, the empire, the one world government. But in here, the horns do not have crowns because it tells us that they are 10 kings, but they're not like the other kings. The reason they don't have horns is because they don't have a kingdom yet. But they receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Now, who are these horns that are kings, but they don't have a crown? Because they are not kings of a particular land, a particular country, right? They are kings of a different kind of kings. And we have people that somewhere the Bible speaks in Revelation, speaks about the mighty men or the rich men, right, that are going to be part of the beast system. And those people have as much power as any kings on the earth that are going to be part of the government. Who wants to can identify what kind of people this is talking about? We can give some examples here, and we will. These horns receive power as kings, but they don't have a kingdom yet. They don't have a crown on their heads. But they are kings regardless, but not kings of a country. Does anybody know? Go ahead, but James, you want to give us some? This is dragon, I guess. Okay. Bill Gates, absolutely. How about Elon Musk? Those are rich men. Jeff Bezos, right? Rothschild, right? Some of the Rothschild family. So these are the kind of people that, let me just, let's go to Revelation chapter 6. And we'll go to verse, I believe it's verse 15 to 17 or something like that. And we'll come to an end here with this. Verse 15, you want to read that, Brother Ronald, please? Don't forget your mic is off.
Yes. Verse 15.
Yes, please.
Which chapter?
Chapter 6, verse 15.
Chapter 6, verse 15. Yes. And the kings of the earth, the great men, the rich men, the commanders, the mighty men, every slave and every free man hide themselves in the caves and in the rocks of the mountains.
Okay, good, right? So here, verse 15 identifies something that people will do on the last day when they see the Lord appear in the sky. He says, the kings of the earth. Who are we talking about when we say this? We're talking about people like Donald Trump, Mark Carney, what's his name there? I forget, in the new governor, the new prime minister in England, the prime minister in Kenya, or president, whatever they're called. This is the kings of the earth. Okay?
Yes.
Then it says, and the great men. Who's that? Those are people, as like Brother James wrote on the notes here, it says, those are people that have almost the same influence and authority than the presidents and prime ministers of the nations. They have just as much authority and influence. You take a man like Elon Musk, a lot of influence. You take a man like Bill Gates, a lot of influence, right? So they have just as much power. And those are the 10 horns on that beast in Revelation 17, and where they have, they do not have crowns on their heads, but they are kings. They are rulers. They have tremendous influence and power in the system, in the beast system. Okay, so as a last little review of the 6 beasts, the first beast is the beast that kills the 2 prophets, the 2 witnesses, and that's the beast that comes out of the bottomless pit. And the only beast that fits this description is Abaddon or Apollyon. Okay? And that's the only one that comes out of the bottomless pit when the 2 witnesses are killed. Okay? The second beast is the beast of beasts. And it's the dragon. And who is the dragon? Satan himself, right? Then the dragon stands on the sand of the sea, and by his power, he causes another beast to come out of the sea. And what is the beast that comes out of the sea? I'll try again. Your mic is on. It is off, Brother Thomas.
All right. Beast that comes out of the sea.
Yes.
The Antichrist. No.
That's the next one. Brother Ronald?
Good.
Go ahead, Brother Thomas. Do you know it?
Oh, no.
Yeah, okay. Brother Ronald?
Go ahead, brother. No.
The beast that comes out of the sea. What is it?
It is the world.
The world is the sea. But the beast that comes out of the world is what?
It is the dragon.
The what? Oh, it looks like he froze. It's the... I know who knows. It's the one world. Say it. Say it, Brother Thomas.
One world government.
That's the beast that comes out of the sea by the power of the dragon. Okay. Then we have a fourth beast. And that beast is a head, one of the 7 heads, that gets wounded with a deadly wound, and the wound heals, and the whole world marvels and goes after that beast. What is that one?
That's the false prophet. Come on, 0 for 2. The deadly wound.
The head that gets wounded. Just think of that. It looks like it's dead and it comes back to life. Like Jesus.
Right, I don't want to, well, the Antichrist.
Yes, exactly, yeah. Okay? So that's very subtle, very deceptive. It's going to be a fake death and a resurrection. All right?
I think understanding the beast and what each one represents, I'm glad you're going over it,
Yeah.
to get right interpretation.
Yeah. And then we have the fifth beast. I didn't describe much about the one that came out of the sea, but we'll go to the fifth beast. And that one comes out of the earth. Has 2 horns like a lamb. That's the key word. Like a lamb, but it speaks like a dragon. Now, what is that beast?
That's the false prophet.
That's the false prophet. There's always a key element somewhere, right? And then the sixth beast is a combination of the dragon and the beast that comes out of the sea. But, and that's in Revelation 17, it has the 10 horns don't have crowns. So it's the same beast, but it's showing 10 different people in that beast. Right? So that's still the global, the one world government, but with rulers that are not really kings of a nation, but they have the same power as kings, same influence, same authority. And we're speaking of people like who? Examples?
Minister of France, the minister of France and such. Those heads of
those are kings. They have horns, right? I'm talking about really big influencers of the world, medical world, and technology, AI world, and all this stuff. Who are some of the people?
Oh, like Musk and all those individuals.
Yes,
Musk. Like
Bill Gates,
guy who owns Microsoft. Yeah.
Right. Bezos and these kind of people. This is what these 10 horns are, and that's what it is. That chapter 17 is showing that same government, that same beast full of Satan, and 10 horns that are kings, but they're not kings of a nation. They're kings because of the power and the influence that they have in the world. Okay.
What about the Rothschilds?
Yeah, they're in there too. They're in there too.
Undergirding all.
Yeah, they're in there too. The rich man, the mighty man, the whatever, the great man. They're in there, of course. and very, very big influence, of course. Yeah. And so one thing I had not mentioned in the chapter 13, the beast that comes out of the water has 7 heads and 10 horns. It comes out by the power of the dragon, but the 10 horns have crowns. What do they represent? Okay, they represent the 10 most prominent kings of NATO. Okay, they are part of because that beast, of course, a big component of that beast is the military force, which is NATO. Okay, obviously that beast, could we say maybe it's the United Nations, all the nations united? Yeah, makes sense. And the horns represent the 10 most prominent kings, or the 10 kings of the most prominent nations would probably be better put. For example, obviously, United States, England, France, Germany, Italy, Turkey, Canada, and some, some of the, I think when these founded NATO, it was 12 nations. I looked at that lately, but some nations that were added to it after became more prominent. Okay, so, but that's why these 10 horns are 10 nations, the king of the 10 nations that are the most influential in the NATO covenant, NATO alliance.